Diese Aussage mit den mehreren Verletzungen, die trifft auf keinen von denen zu, die wir jetzt hier gesehen haben, zumindest in der jüngsten Zeit. Keiner von denen ist öfter verletzt worden. Außer Aoi. Sie ist von Toko angegriffen worden, als sie Genocider Jill war. Aber sie lebt ja noch. Mich beschwimmt da gerade ein ganz, ganz verrückter Gedanke. Aber den lasse ich erstmal zu. Okay, time to get started. I need to check anywhere that may be important from one end to the other. I just need to do what I always do. Was ist das denn? These look like fragments of something. They are all burnt, so I can't really be sure about. I feel like I've seen something like it before. But where? Wait, was it there? I'll have to double check that later. Fragments of near that dead body. There's a knife laying on the ground. Is this? It must be the knife that was stuck in the body before it exploded. The force of the explosion must have thrown it over here. The Monokuma file said the knife went all the way through the body, from front to back. Does that mean this knife is what caused the fatal injury? Either way, this knife, it looks really familiar. Wait, is this? That's it. It's the knife that person was holding. This is getting really weird. There are just too many strange coincidences. Whoever the person in the mask was that attacked me last night, they were holding that knife. And the same knife was used to stab at that same masked attacker we found here. So maybe this masked person got stabbed because when they attacked, it was in kind of a trance. Maybe I reacted by grabbing the knife. Then I. And if this really is Kyoko, it would mean Kyoko is the one that attacked me. But why the mask? I just don't know. I don't remember anything clearly from last night. No, it can't be. There's no way. Knife at the crime scene. Schauen wir uns die Leiche doch nochmal an. If you check the body more thoroughly, maybe then I'll find out for sure if it's Kyoko or not. Huh? There's something weird about the body's fingernails. Oh, these are fake nails. They are really long. They seem like they'd get in the way of normal activity. Fake nails has been added to the truth bullet section. Ein weiterer Verdacht kommt mir gerade auf, beziehungsweise eine Bekräftigung meines Verdachtes. There's also something on the back of her right hand. Is this a tattoo? It got burned, so I can't make out the whole thing, but looks like it's a picture of a dog or something. I've never seen anything like it before. Tattoo on the right hand has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. The lower half of the body didn't get wet at all. After the body blew up, the top half got set on fire, so I dumped a bucket of water on it, which explains why the bottom half isn't wet. There's nothing strange about that, right? The upper half of the body got so set on fire in the explosion, so it's totally blackened. As the top half of the body is wet. That's because it got set on fire, and I threw water on it. Since I only threw water on the part that was on fire, on top of the top half of the bottom half is still dry. In other words, there's nothing strange about the top half being wet. If there isn't, right? Oh mein Gott. Ich habe gerade 3 Gedanken. 3 Gedanken gehen mir gerade durch den Kopf. 3 Stück. Einer, der ziemlich offensichtlich ist. einer, der mir ziemlich offensichtlich ist, ein weiterer, der durchaus denkbar ist und ein dritter, sehr perfider. The white jacket the victim was wearing got totally burnt up. There's only one little piece left. Wieso hat der nichts abbekommen? I remember there were some chickens in the chicken coop. Es fehlt eins. I count 4 chickens. Huh? 4?
Yo!
What's going on, Makoto? Oh, I'm glad you're here. Listen, do you remember how many chickens were here in there? Of course, there were precisely 5. Yeah, right.
Huh?
What's wrong? There's only 4 chickens here now. We are 1 short. Huh? That's so weird. I wonder when it disappeared.
But...
I was down here just before nighttime last night, and there were definitely 5 chickens then.
What?
What are we gonna do? Going from 5 to 4 is gonna have an impact on the structure of the world.
Conspiracy!
It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Even a single piece that disappears, the entire world will remain unfinished. I did my best to ignore Hiro and focus on the problem at hand. Why did one of the chickens disappear? Could it be related to the case? Chicken Coop Chickens. Ich weiß ja nicht, ob ihr es wisst, aber in der japanischen Geschichte ist die Zahl 4 ja ziemlich unbeliebt, ne? Das wisst ihr hoffentlich. Gehen wir doch mal in die Toolshed rein. Just to be sure. Die Zahl 4 steht für Tod in Japan. Deswegen hätte ich eigentlich Yasuhiro ziemlich verstanden mit seiner schlechten Laune. This room is dusty and disorganized. In other words, a pretty stereotypical tool shed. Is this a tarp? Wait, was there a tarp in here before? I should probably look into that. It could be related to the case. The top is wet and covered with mud and grime. But the underside, it's totally clean and completely dry. On the side, one side of that tarp is wet and dirty. Something about that bothers me. Tarp has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. That's one thing in here that concerns me. Alles andere sieht unverändert aus, ne? Da ist nichts dran. Also können wir mal wieder hier rausgehen. Ich habe aber mit den Leuten noch nicht gesprochen, ne? Na, gucken wir, ob Mr. Faulmaus hier was hat. Good morning, good timing, Makoto. I wanted to talk to you. What do you want to talk about?
So, in other words...
I'd like to hear your alibi. Alibi?
In other words...
Correct. I'd love to hear where you were after nighttime began last night. Well, I was sick, so I was asleep all night. But why are you asking about that now? And that nighttime got to do with it?
Naturally.
Isn't it obvious this murder took place after nighttime? How can you know that for sure? Because just after nighttime began, I came to the garden. I was going around looking for everyone so I could tell them about Monokuma. Hiro's been spending most of his time in the garden the last few days, so I figured he'd be here. And I can confirm that when I arrived last night, there was no body here.
In other words...
So the murder could only have taken place at some point during nighttime, after I left the garden. However, Toko, Hiro, Hina and I were in the gym together the entire night last night. What? Once I found Hiro in the garden, we immediately went in Toko and Hina's rooms to get them. At that point, we all went to the gym and began dismantling Monokuma. As a precaution, we made sure not to go in anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. In other words, all 4 of us have airtight alibis. The only ones who don't have alibis are me and Kyoko.
That's right.
And if the victim really is Kyoko, then I'm the only one without an alibi. Also, when we went to go get Hina and Toko, we stopped by your room as well.
What?
But you never came to the door, so where precisely were you? I'm telling you the truth. I was in my room, but I was dead asleep. I had fever, so... That's hardly an alibi. I know. So what now? You seem to be at quite the disadvantage here. I'm the only one without an alibi. That's really bad, isn't it? Byakuya's account has been added. Okay. Sprechen wir mal die anderen an. Was sagt uns denn der gute Hiro? It's 11 o'clock right now. Okay, and?
For serious?
Oh, well, I was just thinking about when we first found the body. When the body was found, huh? I should look back at what I did this morning to help me remember when that was. Monokuma's announcement woke me up at 7 o'clock, as usual, as I headed for the dining hall pretty soon. Once I got there, I met up with Hina, and that was right around 7:30. Then I headed to the gym, where everyone else was waiting. Next, Toko went to go get the pickaxe, and that's when she found the body. What time was it then? 9 o'clock, oder? Now then, Toko, what time is it? Oh, well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot now. That's right. It had to have been right around 9 o'clock.
You know?
Ja. Ja, das stimmt schon, aber das jetzt, was er jetzt gerade macht, ist schon ziemlich verdächtig. Ah, now that you mention it, I think you're right. So I think we can say for sure that the body was found at 9 AM. Okay, my job's done. That's a pretty small job. When the body was found has been added. Hello, Aoi. Listen, Makoto. Do you remember how the body looked, you know, before it blew up? I remember, right, if I remember right. It was wearing some kind of mask and a big white coat. Also, there was a knife sticking out of the stomach, and the area around it was stained with blood. Apparently the wound had stopped bleeding, but the blood on the body was still wet. Byakuya said not to touch it to avoid getting all bloody. But for how much blood there was on the body, I didn't see any on the ground around it.
Okay.
Wow, thanks. That's a big help. That was a big help. Now that you explained it, I totally remember how it looked. Well, having to talk about it like that helped me remember it a lot better too. So thank you too. Stimmt. Da ist keine Lache, ne? Sehr, sehr merkwürdig. Keine Blutlache. Hallo, Toko. So who does the body belong to? Whoever it is, I'm not gonna look. I don't want to feign anyone anymore. Okay. This is the panel that controls the sprinklers. They are set to turn on at 7:30 every morning, and Monokuma said the time positively couldn't be changed. Huh? Hold on. So the sprinklers turn on at 7:30 each morning, right? And if the body was here before then, the sprinkler should have gotten it wet. Which would mean the murder must have taken place. Stimmt. I think I've checked everything I need in this area, but I'm not done yet. Oh Mann. Das ist doch alles ein bisschen verquer. There are other things, specifically that fragment I found here before. There's somewhere I need to go in order to confirm my suspicions. And I still need to find out more about Kyoko. Is that corpse really Kyoko? If that's true... Was that also Kyoko who attacked me last night? If I can find out more about her, maybe I can answer that question. Kyoko was never the kind of person to talk about herself that much. Maybe if I can get into her room, I'll be able to find out more. But the key to her room...
It's all clear now.
I will simply limit your options. I can't allow you to engage in any further suspicious activity. Limit my options.
Just give up.
Give me the key to your room. I don't have a choice. I have to see if he'll let me borrow her room key. Hey, Byakuya. If you do come up with an alibi, I'd be happy to hear it later at the class trial. Oh no, it's not about that. You have the key to Kyoko's room, right? I was hoping I could borrow it. I'm afraid I can't take that risk. You're the prime suspect after all. Of course, if I were to go with you, that would be a different story. Then will you go with me? Sorry, I have my own agenda to take care of. Find me again later and we'll see.
Goodbye.
Depending on my mood, I may go with you or not. I may not. Come back later, huh? Okay, then in the meantime, I should look around somewhere else. Maybe I should check out that one area. Okay. Schon irgendwie strange alles, ne? Ich werde jetzt erstmal nochmal gucken, wo die alle sich getroffen haben. Die waren ja alle im Gym, ne? Die waren ja alle im Gym. Obwohl... Ich bin strange. Ja. Vielleicht gehe ich doch noch nicht ins Gym. Sollte vielleicht doch erstmal gucken, was mit Kyoko los ist. Vielleicht ist sie auf ihrem Zimmer. In ihrem Room. Vielleicht ist sie da. Stand da schon immer Despair Hotel auf der Seite? Ich meine, da stand mal was anderes, oder? There's still one other place I need to check. Echt? Das stand schon immer da. Das Bear Hotel. Okay. Das wollte ich mir nochmal anschauen. Das war nie ein Hope Hotel. Ja, schon klar. Aber Hope's Peak Hotel hätte ich gedacht. Monokuma's laying dismantled on the floor, but I figured it wouldn't be here.
You know?
I just found something. What is it? It's...
Huh?
It's what? A bomb. There's one installed in every Monokuma robot, I'm sure. A bomb? And that bomb went missing. There's no doubt about that. The fragments I found in the garden. The fragments near the dead body has been updated. Okay, I've checked everything else I can think of. All that's left now is Kyoko's room. I should head back to the garden and ask Byakuya. Ab geht's. Ab, ab und ab, ab und ab, ab und ab geht's. Suchen. Wir suchen ihn. Hey, Type. You think you can go soon, Byakuya?
Let's go.
You wanted to check out Kyoko's room, right? Very well, let's go. Komm jetzt. Wait for me. Byakuya walked off without a second glance, and I hurried after him in our way to the dorms. Okay, ab geht's. Warte jetzt, bist bereit? Well then, here we go. Byakuya took out the key and slid into the keyhole, and then... And it's open. Looks like it, thanks. Gehen wir rein. Rein! So, this is Kyoko's room. Hat aber nicht viel hier liegen, ne? Was ist das hier? There's something on the table. It's a woodblock decoration.
What?
What's that? What purpose does it serve? I think it's probably a key. The locker said those really traditional public bathhouses use them as for their lockers. I wouldn't know. I've never gone to a public bathhouse. That doesn't really surprise me. It's hard to picture Byakuya doing something like that.
It's certainly possible.
But if it is a key, I think I might know what it unlocks. Really? What? Unless I'm mistaken, I'm pretty sure I saw something in the dojo that this might go to. The dojo? Woodblock key. Okay. Here's her bed. I don't see anything interesting here, at least not as far as the case is concerned. A Was hast du denn jetzt hier zu sagen, hä? You wanted to come here, right? So what is it you're looking for? Nothing in particular. I just thought we might find some kind of clue here. A clue that might help us understand Kyoko.
Come on.
You can't be serious. That's why you made me take time out of my search to come here? Sorry. Regardless, if you plan on poking around at random, you're doomed no matter how much time you take. Surely you have something more concrete, something that gives us some sort of discretion here. More concrete? Oh, I know. Earlier, Kyoko gave me something. Huh? What is this?
It's true.
Consider it a symbol of my determination. Don't open it yet. Only open it if something ever happens to me. I'm pretty sure I have it somewhere. Found it. What's in the envelope? Kyoko gave it to me. She said if something ever happened, I should open it. Well, something has certainly happened, so open it. Okay. I opened the envelope and looked inside. Inside was a single piece of paper. Under the sheets.
What?
That's all that was in there? Yeah, it looks like it. Under the sheets. What could it be? Tja, unterm Bett vielleicht? But could something be hidden under the bed sheets? Part of me didn't expect to find anything, but as I lifted up the sheets... What's this? I found a crumbled up piece of paper. Mukuro Ipusawa, sex female. Class 78, student registry. Mukuro Ikusaba.
I see.
It appears to be Mokuro Ikusaba's profile. Yeah, looks like it. That's probably the other thing Kyoko stole when she snuck into the headmaster's room along with the key.
God, you're so annoying. Fine, I'll tell you. It was a key and...
That's it. This must be the blank that Monokuma was talking about. Kyoko said that death without meaning was unappealing, and this is what she left behind. I don't have time for your sentimental indulgences. Hurry up and finish your search. Okay. I made an effort to pull myself together, then looked down at the profile sheet. Name Mukuro Ikusaba. Sex female. The ultimate soldier. Although small for her age, she was a military specialist trained in every weapon type imaginable. She showed an interest in the military from childhood and soon found herself completely absorbed in it. In elementary school, she won a survival game tournament and began writing for military magazines. Just before entering middle school, while she and her family were on vacation in Europe, she disappeared. The story of a young Japanese girl being kidnapped quickly took over Japanese media outlets. An intense international investigation turned up no information, and she was never found. Ich glaub da auch nicht dran. However, she reappeared in Japan 3 years later, alone and completely unannounced. She revealed that she had joined a mercenary group known as Fenrir for those 3 years. Fenrir? Wir wissen, was Fenrir bedeutet, hoffentlich. Ich hoffe, ihr wisst, was das bedeutet. She insisted that she hadn't been kidnapped, that she had received battle training her own volition. However, she never revealed why she decided to return home when she did. Mokuro's profile has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. Fenrir ist ein Wolf aus irgendeiner Saga, wenn ich das noch richtig in Erinnerung habe. Auf jeden Fall ist es was Hunde- oder Wolfsartiges. Einen Moment bitte. Wenn ich das noch richtig im Kopf habe. Ist aus der Mythologie ein Wolf, der Fenriswolf. Der ist damit angesprochen. Der Fenriswolf aus dieser Zeit. Das ist ein Wolf. Genau, aus der nordischen Mythologie. Und falls ihr gerade etwas gesehen habt bei einer gewissen Untersuchung, die wir gerade gemacht haben, könnte sein, dass euch da was aufgefallen ist. Deswegen habe ich erstmal gesagt, das könnte sein. The Ultimate Soldier, a mercenary group. This doesn't feel real. The world I grew up in, it's like a completely different dimension. It's It's like one's non-fiction and the other is sci-fi. There's no way to even compare the two. That's how different this is. That was how I saw things as just an ordinary person, but then...
I see.
I never imagined I would hear the name Fenrir in a place like this. Huh? You recognize it?
Naturally.
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps is a collection of battle-crazed warmongers. But they do have their uses. And they always get the job done. That's worth remembering. This is all part of a world totally removed from the one I live in. I have to say, I'm intrigued. Every rumor I've heard says that Fenrir has already... Aber hier, ich erkläre gleich, was ich meine, falls ich dazu komme. Wow, I feel like our hero is becoming a bit player and a bit player is becoming our hero. Ah, it's you. What have you got in your pretty little hand there?
What?
Uh-oh, you found her profile. So what if we did?
Hey!
Don't freak out on me. I'm not gonna hold it against you or anything. Das Problem ist ein Nagel und ich habe einen Hammer. And in case you're wondering, I don't hold it against Kyoko either. Even though she stole it and hid it. After all, there's no rule against stealing, is there? But who I can forgive is Miss Ogami, who broke the rules and busted into the headmaster's room. Maybe I'll drag her corpse out here and slice it up and devour it. Bears are omnivorous, you know?
What?
Are rule violations really so unforgivable? You're quite adamant about those regulations of yours. Of course I am. A proper school life is built on the dedication to organization and order. Which is why even I, as the school headmaster, have to follow the regulations myself. Oh, so you're saying you have to follow your own rules as well?
Of course!
Absolutely. I can't have you complaining about how unfair it all is now, can I? In fact, on the subject of fairness, I would like to know something interesting. Interesting? It's about the one writing all the rules. They're actually one of the participants in this killing game. I don't think I ever actually told you how many participants there actually were, did I? I was thinking I should probably clarify that.
Hey,
When you all got together in the main hallway back then, we were 15 people, right? I think that first meeting may have led to a little misunderstanding among you all. A misunderstanding? Are you saying?
in other words...
That's right. There weren't actually 15 of you.
Yes, indeed!
The total number of students taking part of this killing game was actually 16. 16? Then...
Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
The 16th student, Mukuro Ikusaba. She's part of the school life. So the one making all the regulations is...
Why?
Huh?
Did you say something? Why are you telling us this? Oh well, because... Like I told you, this killing game is desperately popular. You wouldn't believe the ratings. And since we've got so many viewers now, I wanted to make sure everyone was on the same page. I don't want to wake up to a hurricane of complaints and hate mail, you know?
Yes, indeed!
Makes sense?
Well now...
Okay, that's all you get for now. Oh, actually, I do have some revenge to get, so I have an extra bonus for you. Revenge? I want to get back at that sneaky Miss Kirigiri, so I'm gonna share a little secret with ya. Seriously?
Hey,
You know that she wears those stupid gloves day in, day out all the time? Well, don't tell anyone I told you, but she wears them to cover a bunch of hideous scars so that she doesn't want anyone to see. What? Boo-hoo. Okay, now that's all you get. Monokuma's account has been added. Kyoko wears those gloves to cover up a bunch of scars? Wait, so on the back of her hand. The tattoo. Wait, but no. Monokuma specifically said they were scars, right? And that's why Kyoko wears these gloves, to hide the scars. Which means... those fake nails on the corpse? Are you thinking about Kyoko again? Huh?
What?
Forget about her. What matters right now is uncovering Monokuma's trap. His trap?
Such ignorance.
God must have really hated you to make you so dull. Don't you remember what Monokuma just told us? He said there were 16 students, right? Which means Mukuro was a student here.
That's right.
Obviously Monokuma was trying to tell us that Mukuro is the one creating the rules to the game. But why would he tell us that, and why now? He said he wanted to make things clear so there wouldn't be any complaints later. But the mere fact that he said that proves that Mukuro is connected to this case. That's why Monokuma revealed the existence of a 16th student. He needs to make our investigation fair. Mukuro is related to the case.
It's certainly
Perhaps she's
possible.
the one who killed Kyoko. What? That would explain why we would have to have a class trial, wouldn't we? If she's a student and she killed someone, that would make her part of the school killing game. Mukuro is the killer? She killed Kyoko? Anyone should be able to come to that conclusion, don't you think? In fact, that's exactly what I thought when the investigation first began.
What?
But based on what Monokuma just told us, I've changed my mind.
It's all clear now.
Mukuro Ikusaba isn't the culprit. What makes you say that? We thought Mukuro, the ultimate despair, was the mastermind's true identity. But if that's true, Monokuma's behavior makes no sense. Why would the mastermind go out of their way to reveal themselves to us? That's a good point.
So in other words,
Mukuro giving us information that would raise questions about her would be bold, to say the least. It makes more sense than to assume that Mukuro isn't the culprit. So that's the trap. They want us to suspect Mukuro and come to the wrong conclusion. That's what makes sense, to me. The way you say it, it definitely does seem possible, but if that's really true, if Mukuro isn't the killer, then who is? Well then, I believe our work here is finished. Let's move on. I'm sure there are other places in need of investigation. I should find out if that key and the dojo really are connected.
let's go.
Damit nervst du nicht, ist doch alles gut. Well, are you coming? Während die Zusammenfassung kommt, hoffe ich, kann ich euch jetzt erklären, was ich meine. Warum habe ich gerade Fenrir angesprochen? Fenrir ist ja dieser Wolf. Mukuro gehörte zu dieser Gruppe. Ist doch kein Problem, alles gut. Vielleicht zeigen sie es uns. Da, seht ihr das? Oh, bei mir hat sich der Chat wieder aufgehoben oder dargestellt. Ich war wohl zwischendurch vom Chat ausgeloggt. Aus welchem Grund auch immer. Interessant. So. Vielleicht seht ihr es jetzt. Fenrir war der Name dieser Wolfsgruppe. Ne? Oder dieser Söldnergruppe, der sie angehört hat. Ich kann mir durchaus vorstellen, dass das Symbol dieser Söldnergruppe ist. Und dann würde das eben mal zeigen, dass Mukuro die Leiche ist. Und mehrere Wunden und Verletzungen könnte ein Söldner jederzeit bekommen. Das wäre eine Option. Also, ne? Ich finde das schon ein bisschen verdächtig. Wir halten das mal im Hinterkopf. Aber ich habe eine ganz andere Idee. Ich habe eine ganz andere Idee, was da wirklich hintersteckt. Und bei der bleibe ich lieber auch erstmal. Bin ich ganz ehrlich. So, wir sind jetzt hier im Dojo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Schauen wir doch mal, ob der Schlüssel da passt, was? There are wooden lockers here. They used the woodlock keys, just like those super traditional public bathhouses. It looks like the key we found in Kyoko's room really does go to one of these lockers. Also meine Idee ist wirklich sehr perfide und sehr verquer. Ich glaube nicht, dass sie hundertprozentig richtig ist, aber ich werde sie Toni auf jeden Fall nachher mal schreiben. Makoto, do you see the locker farthest to the right?
Very strange.
That's the only one that doesn't have a key in it at the moment. You understand what that means, right? I should probably use the key we found on that locker, right?
That's right.
Well, just try it. Okay. I took out the woodlock key and inserted it into the locker's metal lock, and the locker eagerly accepted the key, and it opened. There are arrows in here. It looks like 10 arrows in total. They look like they are made of titanium, which means they are quite strong despite how thin they are. Of course, without a bow, they are nothing but strong little sticks. Strong sticks. Titanium arrows has been added. Nice. Oh, there's something else inside the locker. Was ist das denn da unten? It's a wadded up ball of duct tape. I wonder what this was used for. Is that a bloodstain?
I see.
Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. If it is, that means it must surely be related to the case. This duct tape is related to the case somehow. But how? How could it possibly be involved? Bloody duct tape has been added. Okay, I think that's all the locker has to offer for now. Is something wrong?
Very strange.
It's very odd, don't you think? The locker was hiding items that were clearly related to the case. But how did the key to the locker wind up in the victim's room?
Why?
Or perhaps Byakuya? Forget it. Come on, we need to continue on to the next location. Huh? What next location?
What?
There's still something we need to look into. We need to do more research on Fenrir. Fenrir? You mean the mercenary group that Mukuro was part of? But how are we supposed to find out about that? Isn't it obvious? Where in the school would you go to do research on something? Research? Are you talking about the archive? That's right, the archive has all kinds of info that the general public doesn't have access to.
Let's go.
We only have so much time before the trial begins. Let's hurry. Oh man, dude. Okay. I believe there was a file related to Fenrir somewhere over here. Byakuya seemed to know the archive like the back of his hand and went straight to a shelf in the back. Ah, here we go. He quickly returned with a file in hand. Okay.
I see.
Take a look at this. I have no idea what it says. What language is this? Da seht ihr das Emblem. Ich denke, ich hatte recht mit meiner Vermutung. Ich denke, ich hatte recht. How did you make it all the way to high school without learning a single word of French? I'm pretty sure most high schoolers can't speak French. Well, whatever. I'll read it for you, but I expect you to repay your debt 100 times over. 100 times? Isn't that kind of extreme? Fenrir is an elite fighting unit based out of the Middle East. Unlike military contractors, they are a fierce group of soldiers who engage in direct combat. They claim that a single member is equivalent to an entire company of regular soldiers. Just like Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok, their mere presence is enough to strike fear into an enemy. They have been involved in countless military battles and operations, most of which are highly classified. However, some time ago they completely ceased all activity. At present their continued existence cannot be confirmed. There are unconfirmed reports that the key members of the group were all neutralized. Rumors indicate they were killed to keep them from revealing the many state secrets they acquired. Some, however, believe there was mounting internal tension within the group, and they simply imploded.
What?
What is it? This all just sounds like some kind of alternate reality. Well, it isn't. This is our reality, the only reality. These people are part of our world. Their battlefields aren't much different from our lives here. An unpredictable, unimaginable world. That's what makes it all so exciting. Exciting definitely isn't the word I would use. So, did anything jump out at you? This may be your last opportunity to learn about Fenrir. Now that you mention it. The report said something about where the name Fenrir comes from, right? That's right, it said Fenrir is the Wolf of Ragnarok. Speaking of which, would you like to know something interesting related to that? To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body. What? They got a tattoo of Fenrir? Could that mean? Mokuri Kusaba's profile has been updated. Uh-oh.
Time is utterly silent, and yet it constantly assaults us, organisms, the earth, natural phenomena.
Toni?
It damages us little by little until the end. You should really think about
Ich speichere
that.
jetzt auch gleich.
Anyway, it's time to begin the class trial. So, please meet up in the usual spot. See you
Ja, ja,
later.
mache ich sowieso. Ich mache jetzt 2 Spots. Wenn du das jetzt sagst, das ist also die Stelle jetzt. And then the time has come. Machen wir das am besten mal jetzt schon. Ich speichere einmal auf dem aktuellen und einmal auf dem zweiten. Then the time has come. All we can do now is try to uncover the truth during the class trial.
That's right.
It would seem that way. Let's go. Whoa, Byakuya and Makoto showed up together. Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure out by this point? Makoto's ranked high enough for you guys to go off together. Just the two of you. What are you what are you jealous?
Hey.
Or are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Stop talking and brace yourselves. He'll be here any second. Any second? He could show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tensed up and prepared myself. But we stood there for 5 full minutes waiting for something weird to happen. And then 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma shown up yet?
Could it be?
Maybe he died again? What should we do? Should we keep waiting here or... Oh, what?
What?
Jesus! Did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that? What? I made you wait? You've got it all backwards. You're the ones making me wait. Huh?
In other words,
Yeah, I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here now, can we? What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've all been waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. But I've been waiting 10 minutes now, so it's okay if we punish the one making us all wait, right? If we all agree it's a violation, I'll arrange a punishment right now. It's me you're waiting for. I'm here. When we heard that voice, we all spun around to look.
Hey,
I'm here, and no rule's been broken. Kyoko! Kyoko, you're still alive! No! That's a ghost! Stop talking. If you want to fight, do it at the class trial. You need to save some of the fun for later, right?
What?
But is it okay that there's no particular penalty for being late?
is that right?
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong?
You're so selfish, so spoiled.
You're right, there's no penalty officially, but I bet you'll be sorry later.
No, I'll make sure you'll be sorry later. Anyway, hustle your butts onto the elevator. I'll be just one step ahead of ya.
When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. Kyoko!
So you really didn't die?
Indeed.
Of course I didn't die.
Thank God. I'm so glad you're okay.
Perhaps, but that's not necessarily a good thing for us. Huh?
He's right. Now we've got to deal with a ghost.
I told you stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial. Without ever looking directly at Kyoko, Byakuya stepped into the elevator.
Master, wait for me.
Good call. Who knows what might happen to us if we take too long.
But
I'll be happy when this trial is all over.
One after another, everyone piled into the elevator. But I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started. Ist das jetzt der Moment, den du meinst? Na, okay.
Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you.
Das ist mit dem Trial verbunden, okay. Das Trial werden wir aber heute nicht mehr anfangen, Leute. Dafür ist die Zeit zu knapp. Ich habe heute nicht so viel Zeit heute Morgen.
Where have you been this whole time? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you? So,
Correct.
I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms.
Second floor?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that.
Whew.
I had no idea a body had been discovered.
Then did you find out? When did you find out?
Just now. I finished my search and we came back just in time to hear the class trial announcement. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go to a trial completely uninformed, can I? So that's why you were late.
However,
I'm sorry I kept you all waiting. But if you were on the second floor of the dorms, then what's the key you found goes to? Then that's what the key you found goes to.
wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other words,
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which I can open any lock in the school. Which can open any lock in the school. What? Kyoko's account has been added.
Just a second.
Hey, what are you two doing? Hurry up before we get in trouble with Monokuma.
Makoto.
We can go over all the details after we get through the trial, okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation.
It would seem...
Because this is probably the single most crucial moment so far for me. For her? That's a strange way to put it. The class trial is important for everyone, right? So why would she say it's a crucial moment for her?
Goodbye.
Well, if that's all. Seemingly unconcerned, Kyoko made her way to the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? Dann fahren wir doch mal runter. Being the last one left, I stepped into the elevator. And the door slid shut. This time, the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and the dread began to consume me once again. I can't imagine ever getting used to the metal pressure that comes preparing for an execution. In that dusky darkness, nobody said a word. We just stood there, silent and still. After an immeasurable period of time, the doors opened without warning. Ja, richtig. Daran ändert's nix. And dazzling light penetrated every depth of my eyes. But it wasn't the illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair.
Der hat schon wieder umgeräumt.
I can't wait!
I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. The time for pointless jokes and jabs has passed.
Thrills,
Let's go on with the
chills.
show.
And so the curtain opened for the 5th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Ja, wir speichern. Einmal hier. Und, natürlich, der lässt mich nicht nochmal speichern. Okay, wir müssen also immer von dem Moment immer speichern. Das ist mir zu bunt, ich werde blind. Oh Mann! Okay, bevor wir loslegen, ich habe jetzt zweimal im Gerichtssaal gespeichert. Ich hoffe, man kann während des Gerichts auch noch speichern. Ansonsten muss ich das nochmal bei dem anderen Teil nochmal nachspielen. Was da kommt, was Toni meint. Erstmal gucken wir mal ins E-Handbook rein. Ne, wir sind ja noch nicht fertig. Wir gucken uns noch die Beweise an. Und dann schaue ich nochmal meine Theorien, also erkläre ich euch nochmal meine Theorie. Eine zumindest. Die andere perfide, die behalte ich erstmal für mich, die bespreche ich mit Toni ab. Also, wir gucken uns mal erstmal die Fälle an. Monokuma-Fall. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. Ich weiß nicht, ob der Oppis noch da ist. Wie gefällt dir denn der Aufbau bis jetzt von dem Spiel? Du hast jetzt ein bisschen was mitbekommen. Natürlich nicht alles. The explosion has burned the upper half of the body beyond recognition. The upper half of the body remained on fire and had to be extinguished. Because of this, the upper half was soaking wet, while the bottom half remained dry. The body was wearing notably long fake nails. The body had a tattoo of a dog on the back on the right hand. Alles klar, er muss den Tatort sauber machen, seht ihr? Der Toni. There were bits of charred debris near the body. It should be noted that the bomb which had been removed from Monokuma in the gym had disappeared. The sprinklers are programmed to come on every morning at 7:30. And this time is impossible to change. As such, it can be assumed that if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, it would have gotten wet. 7 a.m. Makoto wakes to the morning announcement. 7:30, Makoto and Aoi arrive in the dining hall. 7:30 to 9 a.m. Makoto meets the others in the gym, and together they head to the headmaster's room. 9 a.m. Toko is told to find the pickaxe in the garden, where she discovers the body. The knife found near the body was the same knife that was used to stab it before the explosion. It is also the same knife that Toko had given to Makoto for safekeeping, and the knife that masked assailant was holding when they attacked Makoto. The tub was hidden among the other items in the tool shed. One side was wet and filthy, with mud and grime. The other side was completely clean and dry. The number of chickens in the chicken coop had decreased from 5 to 4. Yasuhiro claims that there were without a doubt 5 chickens just before nighttime last night, and yet Byakuya stated that there was no corpse in the garden just after nighttime last night, so it can be assumed the murder must have taken place sometime after that. Byakuya also said that he, Yasuhiro, Toko and Aoi were in the gym the entire night, and none of them were alone at any point. The corpse had a mask covering its head, and a white jacket covering the body. A knife had been thrust into the abdomen, and there were bloodstains around the wound. The body stopped bleeding, but the blood was still wet. It was noted, however, there was no blood on the ground around the body. Mukuro Ikusaba, female, known as the Ultimate Soldier. She became obsessed with the military from young age. She disappeared while on vacation in Europe and reappeared in Japan 3 years later. Apparently, the killing game began with 16 participants, all students. It is assumed that Mukuro Ikusaba was the 16th student. Monokuma also revealed that the reason Kyoko wears gloves is to hide something she doesn't want anyone to see. This woodwork decoration was found in Kyoko's room. It looks like it's actually the key to one of the lockers in the dojo. A set of titanium arrows was found in a dojo locker. There appeared to be 10 in total. Along with the arrows, there was also a wadded up ball of duct tape in the locker. The duct tape had traces of blood on it. It's assumed that this is related to the case, but nobody can imagine how. Kyoko used Monokuma's secret tool, which grants access to any room in the school to sneak into the second floor of the dorms. This area seems to have no monitors or security cameras. Ja, das sind die Beweise, die wir haben. Da ist einiges Interessantes auf jeden Fall dabei. Gucken wir nochmal in die Report Cards. Wir haben ja jetzt auch Aois Karte optimiert. Hier haben wir 7 Seiten bei ihr. Überlegt mal, 7 Seiten. Bei Sakura hatten wir 6. Das heißt, es ist nicht bei jedem gleich viel von den Seiten her. Und auch bei ihr haben wir schon einiges dazu bekommen. Was für Skills haben wir denn? Extraordinary Focus. Increases fair focus gauge. Okay. Ambidextrousness. Allows you to log onto 2 statements at once. Effective during bullet time battle. Oh! Increases bullet capacity. Ja, das ist auch richtig so. Ich glaube, bei Leon wären es wahrscheinlich auch nicht so viele gewesen. Also meine Vermutung zuerst mal. Weil der ja nicht so lange dabei ist, genauso wie Mondo. Aber wie dem auch sei. Bevor ich jetzt hier in das Chapter gehen würde, ich muss ja eh gleich einmal in die Preparations. Vielleicht kann ich da dann speichern sofort. Wenn das ginge, wäre super. Wie gesagt, also meine Vermutung ist, die offensichtliche, dass es Mukuro ist, die da liegt. Allerdings frage ich mich, warum Fake Fingernails? Naja, egal, spielt jetzt keine Rolle. Ich denke, dass es wirklich so ist, dass es Mukuro ist, die da liegt, weil eben halt da viele Wunden sind. Das ist ja durchaus klar, dass das so ist. Aber ich habe das Gefühl, dass da nicht alles dahinter steckt. Ich habe da das Gefühl, das ist noch ein bisschen verquerer. Ich weiß nicht warum. Aber irgendwie habe ich schon so das Gefühl, dass das ein bisschen verquer ist. Also Mukuro wird da anscheinend umgekommen sein. Am Anfang habe ich erst gedacht, okay, es könnte wirklich sein, dass es Kyoko ist. Aber schaut euch die Schuhe an. Das ist sie nicht. Schaut euch die Fingernägel an. Wir haben bis jetzt noch keine Fingernägel bei ihr gesehen. Unter den Handschuhen wäre es ziemlich schwer, Fingernägel derart zu tragen. Und sie gehört nicht Fenrir an. Also nicht, dass wir wüssten. Sie weiß ja nichts mehr. Könnte ja auch sein, dass sie Fenrir ebenfalls angehört. Ne? Es könnte ja durchaus sein, dass Kyoko ebenfalls zu Fenrir gehört und eben halt einen Mitwisser ausschalten wollte. Wissen wir nicht. Wer ist der Täter? Macht wenig Sinn eigentlich, jetzt nachzuschauen, oder? Naja, ich hoffe, man kann jetzt, wenn ich reingehe, das Ganze sofort speichern. Ansonsten müssen wir da eben halt morgen ganz normal anfangen. Also, Finish Preparations. Class Trial, all rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
Man kann speichern, perfekt. Man kann speichern. Das heißt, wir speichern bei Monokumas Aussage. Wunderbar. Dann haben wir beide Speicherplätze zeitgleich. Und dann möchte ich mal von euch hören. Hier kann man das ganze Ding nachlesen. Guck mal. Hier haben wir die ganzen Aussagen nochmal zum Nachlesen. Das Transkript. Dann kann ich mir nicht viel kaputt machen. Das ist es nämlich. Wunderbar. Wie gesagt, ich hoffe, ihr hattet Spaß an der ganzen Geschichte heute. Ihr seht auch nochmal die Sachen, die ich hier eben mal eingestellt habe. Voice Volume habe ich laut gelassen, alles andere ein bisschen leiser gestellt, sonst würde euch das alles wegfliegen hier. So, normalerweise würde ich jetzt hier auf jeden Fall weitermachen. Ich hoffe, dass eben halt diese ganze Geschichte mit Visual Novels wirklich immer noch so gut ankommt wie bisher auch. Also ich bin echt sehr, sehr positiv überrascht, wie stark da die Nachfrage ist. Zumindest, wenn ich mir die Klicks auf die Sammlung immer angucke. Die sind ja schon ziemlich hoch. Ich glaube, die waren bei 37 gestern. Das ist schon extrem hoch. Und, ja. Wie gesagt, es gibt ja noch 2 weitere Teile von dem Spiel. Die kommen auf jeden Fall. Allerdings kommt nach diesem erstmal Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Und danach kommt dann Zero Tales. Das soll ebenso gut sein. Oder Zero Project, the Honorary Game. Oder wie das heißt. Oder Zero Escape heißt es, glaube ich. Zero Escape. Das soll auch sehr, sehr gut sein. Ich weiß nicht, ob es dann so packen wird wie dieses hier. Und ich bin auf jeden Fall gespannt, wie es weitergeht. Also, ich kann eigentlich schon kaum auf morgen warten, aber wir werden morgen erst weiterspielen. Denn heute Nachmittag geht es mit Persona 4 weiter und heute Abend dann Detroit. Ich danke all jenen, die jetzt hier live zugeschaut haben und auch nochmal ein riesiges Dankeschön an Toni, auch wenn du es jetzt nicht hörst, der heute teilweise die Zusammenfassung geschrieben hat, was richtig gut war, das hat richtig funktioniert. Ich hoffe, wir machen das bei den nächsten Teilen dann genauso, weil da kennt er sich ja auch aus. War ganz schön schon. Ich hatte dich ja gerade gefragt, was hältst du denn jetzt von dem Spiel Opus? Du hattest das vielleicht gar nicht mitbekommen. Es sind noch, wie viele Leute leben noch? Wir haben Kyoko, die noch lebt. Wir haben Yasuhiro, Aoi, Byakuya, Toko und uns. Also 6 Leute. 6 Leute leben noch. Weil ich glaube, die 7. Person ist Mukuro, die wir noch nie gesehen haben. Also, wem das Ganze mit der Playlist auf jeden Fall zu lang ist, wie gesagt, der kann sich den Anime auch anschauen. Der ist momentan auf Amazon Prime kostenlos zu schauen, habe ich schon gesehen. Der ist kostenlos da, wenn man Amazon Prime Video hat. 6 von 16, nicht mal eine halbe Sache. Nee, aber wir haben gestern... War es gestern? Ja, gestern. Als wir in dem Fall waren, im Fall 4 waren und den aufgeklärt haben, gehört, dass wir bei der Hälfte des Spiels sind. Ich kann mir eigentlich nicht vorstellen, dass die andere Hälfte des Spiels sehr lang ist. Kann ich mir nicht vorstellen, weil es werden ja immer weniger Leute. Also wen das Ganze interessiert, wir haben sehr, sehr viele interessante Charaktere gehabt. Das Ganze macht auf jeden Fall Spaß, sich das anzuschauen. Und ich versuche es auch, wie gesagt, auch für die Leute, die die Aufzeichnung schauen, einigermaßen interessant anzugucken. Na? Und, ja. Das wird noch sehr, sehr spannend, denke ich. Und ich bin auch mal gespannt, was diese Stelle ist, die Toni meint, wo es auf jeden Fall mal in 2 Richtungen geht. Ich denke, es hat mit einem optionalen Ending zu tun. Also das ist meine Vermutung. Aber wie gesagt, ich kann auch gerne jedem, der möchte, gleich mal mein anderes... Nein, ist doch alles klar, ist doch alles kein Thema. Das rennt ja auch nicht weg. Ich lasse die ja gespeichert, die rennen ja nicht weg. Deswegen, alles cool. Wer möchte, kann auch meine These gleich nochmal selber mitbekommen, was ich für eine Vermutung habe, wer dahinter steckt. Wie gesagt, ich weiß nichts von dem Spiel, also oder auch von der Serie nicht. Also, ich habe da eine ganz, ganz perfide Meinung, was da noch alles passiert. Aber, das soll es für heute gewesen sein, Freunde. Für heute bei Danganronpa. Ich danke euch fürs Reinschauen. Vielleicht dann bis heute Nachmittag oder heute Abend, je nachdem, ob ihr Bock oder Zeit habt. Bis dahin, sprach der Raven, nimmer mehr und bleibt sauber.